What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik. It's the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and I wanted to just pop in with a quick thing. I got a lot of stuff I got to take care of today. Um, I wanted to just kind of give a an explanation or a conversation about why I decided to um, start the Madden Fix Madden franchise hashtag. Um, there was a reason, just obviously I try not to do anything without any reason at all. And as a franchise fan, that's, if anybody remembers me from back in the day, my channel used to be called Franchise Play because that's what I play the most. I play the other modes because it's my job as a journalist. I had to correct a typo in the title. Uh, you know, because it's my job as a journalist to play those other modes and so that I can actually evaluate them. And I've played Madden since PC. I've played Madden since before most people were even born who are playing the game, right? Um, I'm talking about when ambulances was driving on the field and knocking people down and all of that sort of thing. I've been playing it forever. And so it's like, I just feel like where the game is right now, uh, especially going into the next console year, right? The next console generation. Usually, what you see is you see the last version on the current gen. They kind of blow it out, and they kind of just give all of the features, and then it's almost like a little bit of a reset that starts with the next gen because you don't generally get as much, and it kind of builds itself back up, right? That's usually how it works, and that's not does not appear to be what the deal is with Madden. And so just
That's
I
not.
decided for a second um just to take my journalistic hat off for a second and just start to just talk just as a pure fan for this particular situation. And I just was like, man, as a franchise fan, I know I'm an older gamer for the most, I'm an older gamer. I'm not, 18, 20 years old, 17, 16, 15 years old. I realize I play the game different. Totally understand that. But as a consumer, you're still a consumer and you still give or pay whatever it is you pay to get the game. Now, full disclosure, I generally get the games for free. So it's not even about me buying the game. This isn't even really about me because I don't really, my influence is whatever I write, whoever believes me or doesn't believe me, doesn't like my reviews, likes my reviews, or whatever, right? Um, my, so it's not really about me because full disclosure, I don't generally have to buy the games. Every company will send me the game to review. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't get a Madden this year, but it is what it is, right? I mean, it's whatever, right? I've had years where, different companies didn't send me a game. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal at the end of the day because to be totally honest, you don't need to really have, and this is something that I think a lot of YouTubers and stuff need to realize, you don't really actually have to have like a relationship with the gamer and with the developers and stuff to build up a following and to earn online. All you got to do is consistently talk about the game and consistently, whether it's good or bad, consistently be having the discussion. That's really all you need. So there's this real misconception amongst people, especially people who don't even do this job. They're not journalists, they're not YouTubers. They just some guys and girls in a comment section or comment on a tweet, and they think they know, but they don't know because they don't do this. And so I made the tag because as a franchise mode fan, I'm like, man, this is like wow, like that was like some of the worst reveal of a new feature, or not of a new feature, of a feature period that I had seen, and a lot of people, I deal with this all the time. People say it, oh, you're the 2K guy, you're the 2K guy. I hear it all the time. You know, do I like 2K? Absolutely. For the most part, I like Madden. I generally give Madden a good rating. Um, and I'm not going to trash the rating this year just because I don't like the franchise mode. Because when I do a review, I can't just say, oh, the mode that I like the most is bad, so the whole game is bad. No, then that means I'm only reviewing the game for people like me. So I realize there are hardcore mud guys. I realize I know some cats who the only thing that they play um, is the only thing they play is head to head online. I know guys who play like that. You know what I mean? So I can't, when I do a review, my review has to be for everybody. Now if I come off on a one off video like I'm doing right now, I can tell you what I play. I can tell you what I do. I prefer to play franchise mode, and I will dabble into the collection modes a little bit. I like my team, but there's some things in MUT that definitely should be in my team, like the draft mode, the salary cap mode. All that stuff needs to be in my team. Would be so much better if it was there. But there's things about MUD I don't like because, but some of that same stuff is in my team. I don't like all of the position mixing and all that. It's just a lot of stuff. I prefer to play franchise mode because I get to control the entire environment. I don't have to talk to somebody or hear somebody or go through the process of muting somebody who might get out of line, all of that stuff. Franchise just is just my speed, right? That's just what I dig. It's all about what makes you have the most fun. The hashtag yesterday was directly pointed towards people who play that way. So every once in a while, I will break off from the journalism thing. So when I'm not doing if I'm doing a review, it's for everybody. If I'm just talking like this or in a separate tweet like the fix from Madden franchise tweet, I'm talking to whoever I'm talking to. So I said, I believe at the beginning of that statement, Madden franchise fans. So if that wasn't you, then I wasn't talking to you, right? And I did make the mistake of sending it to this guy, Throne, who I'm be totally honest with you and just let you know I don't really play much like that. I didn't know who this dude was before yesterday. I'm going to be totally transparent with how I did this. I went looking for the people. I have certain analytics that shows who are the bigger influencers under the Madden umbrella. So his name popped up. His name didn't pop up on the first page. That's why I didn't put him in the first page. I had two different tweets. His name popped up in the second one. And so I said, oh, I'll put this guy in. Now, that was my fault. Had I done more vetting of him as just who he was, like as a person and who he was as a Madden guy, I wouldn't have even put him in it because I would have known that he was going to have the type of response that he had, which to me, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on it, or at least I'm going to try not to spend a whole bunch of time on it. His response was really just straight silly. And it's one of them things that I just chalk up to. If I was looking you in your face and standing right in front of you, all that stuff you tweeted, all that G stuff you got on your keyboard, wouldn't have been none of that if I was looking you in your face. And I know that. And I know that. So because I know that, the rest of it don't matter. Because whatever you wouldn't say to me is really irrelevant. Because you can, everybody got the G code behind their keyboard. Everybody do. So what I said to him was, in this climate, you talking to me like this, because I'm not going to put up on the screen what he said, but I'll kind of say it. He was like, you must be a moron if you think I'm going to quit my job and not buy Madden. Shut the F up. So that was his response to me sending him that same message that, that I sent to everybody. So a more mature response and a grown man response and not a little kid response would have been, nah, you know what, bro, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I eat on Madden. And ain't nowhere in the world I can get behind that. It's how I eat. As another man, I'd have been like, bro, totally get it. Understand. I wouldn't ask. I don't want nobody asking me to say I'm not going to write, anymore. I'm not going to make any videos. I wouldn't want nobody to come to me that way. And if they did, but here's the thing. If they did, I wouldn't go to name calling and telling them to shut the F up, especially when I know I wouldn't say that to them in their face. That's just the thing. To me, that's like a dead giveaway of who you are. If you're if you'll get bad on Twitter with somebody you never met, you really you not about your text. You whatever you just text, tweeted, or whatever, you really not about that because whatever, bro. Whatever. It is what it is. So it's just like you got other people that's chiming in. It's some guys who still got access to grind from the NBA Live community because everybody's already had this thing about you know because I've never the tripped out thing about it is I used to give NBA Live some of the higher ratings that it got across the board. When people were giving live, what was it like 14 to 1, 13 or something? The one with Kyrie Irving on the first one that dropped must have been 14. The first one that dropped with on PS4, you know, the first one that dropped with PS4. That one I used to get that one. Like I gave that one a better rating, I think, than just about everybody. And I think I only gave it like a 4.5, 6, or 5, or something like that. But everybody else was dropping twos on that joint, And I'm not. See, I don't. Like I said, when I review a game, I review it in totality. Like I say, this is what I think about this whole game. There might be some stuff I just don't like, but I just try to do it in totality. And so, getting back to the Madden thing. I don't expect to hate Madden 21, like overall as a game. There's going to be something about that game. And I look and I'm like, oh man, that's dope. Because I look at 20 sometimes and certain things will happen, while either I'm playing or my son's playing. I'm like, oh, that was dope. And then it'll be like 5 or 6 things that happen. I'll be like, that animation is bad. Then I'll get up on something that I want. I'll get an idea of something I want to do on franchise. I'm like, man, what would be dope? Because I got this idea. Somebody going to steal it right now when I say it. I got this idea about going back and simulating every Super Bowl ever that's ever been played. Putting rosters together. It's a huge task, and doing that. But doing that in Madden is so difficult because you can't. It's so much you can't customize just so much you can't customize. So the customization suite is a little lacking. And then from a franchise mode standpoint, it's a lot lacking. So, so that's from my own personal gaming standpoint. That is a hindrance to the way I like to play the game. So, that's where that whole thing came from. I mean, if you look at franchise modes across the board, man. You look at NHL's franchise. You look at 2K's franchise. You look at MLB The Show's franchise. They all at different levels, and then Madden is way down here. So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you something. I really don't blame EA for the way they're doing it because they're running a business, right? They're running a business. And here's the thing. They are looking at numbers because numbers speak louder than hashtags. Numbers speak louder than people making complaints on Twitter. Numbers speak louder than everything. And so I get that as a business person, as a guy, as a man, as a human being, I get that. Numbers speak louder than that. So we can start a hashtag. I can kick this hashtag thing off. And I ain't gonna lie, it felt good to see a hashtag that I start trending in the United States. That's why some of these rude cats started feeling a little some type of way later on. Because if it didn't get to the point where it was trending nationally, my man on the throne wouldn't have felt like he had to say nothing. But he had to feel like he had to keep coming. He woke up this morning with me on his mind. Because it started trending nationally. He like, oh, wait a minute, am I messing up a little bit? But his thing is he has created this persona for himself. He's like a WWE wrestler who won't drop it, don't know when to drop his gimmick. And like, bro, you're not actually in the ring right now. You don't have to keep your gimmick up. You can actually be a human being today. But so I'm it's cool to see it trending, but I know at the end of the day, it won't have any effect on what EA does unless they start to lose some dough. And here's the thing. Here's the reality that I know. They may not. To be honest with you, they probably won't. Because just like most things, people start to fade after a while. They we you everybody always needs that extra that little injection of energy to keep going on whatever initiative that they pick up. Right? They need that, you know. And so this trended yesterday and people started seeing it and a bunch of franchise people was like, "Oh yeah, 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 dope. Dope. Yeah, yeah, I feel like that. I feel like that. I feel like that." But then after a while, it starts to trickle down. You know, training camps in real NFL is due to start on time. So people gonna get they gonna get football fever. I'm gonna get football fever. I love football longer than most of these folk who talking crazy been alive. You know what I mean? I you know what I'm saying? So I know, I get it. I get it. I totally get it. And EA is gonna look and say, well man, we got Johnny Bobby Bob Bob on the throne spending $1,500 a week on mud packs. And we got Billy Bob Chillionaire spending $500 on mud packs this week. So if you really take a look at it, you got a bunch of cats who buy Madden and they spend $59.99 on Madden and not a dollar more because they want to play franchise. You know, they spend $50 more at $59, $59.99, and that's it. And they're not gonna spend another dollar on it. And so as a business, I'm looking at this cat who not only did he buy the game and spend he not only did he buy the game, he probably bought the MVP edition because he wanted everything that came with it. But he also spent $1,000 a week. And then you got this other guy who also bought the game. He spent $300, $400, $500 a week or whatever, even if it's $60 a week, whatever. Who do I listen to? Do I listen to the group of people who are literally buying the game 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17 times over to improve their mud squad? Or do I listen to a group of mostly older people whose whole life cycle of playing the game is shorter and who only gonna spend $59.99? So I'm not a fool. I'm not a dummy. I get it. I understand. I totally get it. And I can't tell you that if I was a business person, I wouldn't make that other group prove to me. And here's the other thing. Some of that other group that I'm talking about that's upset, the $59.99 people and don't spend another dollar more, when football fever hit, a lot of them still gonna go ahead and buy the game anyway. Because football fever hit. So the thing of it is as a business, who would you listen to? You know, a lot of us can sit here and say, oh man, I'm gonna stick with the hardcore. Yeah, I hear you. But when them numbers, you start looking at them numbers, and I'm looking at this group that's literally accounting for the $1 billion that I'm getting in over $1.5 billion that I'm getting in microtransactions. And then I'm looking at a group that says I spent $59.99 and I ain't spending a dollar more. Who am I going to listen to? That money is going to talk. So my whole hashtag was find out where you stand. Are you important enough to Madden's bottom line to say, what if I just say I ain't in? What if I just say I'm not with it? You know what I'm saying? What if I just say I'm with it? I ain't playing. I'm not playing the game this year. Y'all don't have a franchise mode. That's what I like to play. I'm not down. What is that impact? I feel like as a consumer, you need to know what your impact is. You need to know I need to know what my value is. I don't want to guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to guess. I don't want to be out here talking about it's enough franchise mode fans to get it moving. I don't know that yet. There's only one way to find that out. There's only one way to find that out. And you might come and you can't be scared to find out what a hard truth is. The hard truth might be that it just ain't enough for you to move that needle. So then now what? Now what you gonna do? And I'm just being real. I'm just really, really giving you the real. You know what I'm saying? This is the real deal. You might have to look and say, there are not enough people like me left playing this game to make a difference in the way that it is being made. That just might be what it is. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as a gamer, that sucks. I hate that. I hate that thought. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thought that makes me want to try to find somebody to connect with who's a developer or something. I'm like, man, I don't even care if it's just an independent title. Let's make this gameplay tight and let's make this whole joint open source. Invite modding in. Just bring it. You know what I'm saying? This just bring it, make the best game you can make. Let's not lie to ourselves and say a game is good that ain't good just because it ain't Madden, which is what I think some people do with some of these football games that I've seen come out. But come with it and try to, because here's the thing. Maybe it's not as big as Madden, but maybe there are still enough gamers out here to make it where it's still profitable because you didn't have to pay the licensing fees and all the blah, 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 blah. And you don't have to produce an annual release every year. There's ways to try to approach that. So I think that's the next level. That's the next step. If you do find out that, I mean, man, I'm gonna tell you guys, I talked to a former, and I'm not gonna say this person's name, right? Because I said that I wouldn't, but I talked to several, actually it's more than one, former developer for Madden yesterday, right? Over the course of the time period. And when I tell you what this person said to me, man, you'll be like, whoa. This person said to me, well, this is the quote I was gonna put in the article. So I'm gonna read you the quote I was gonna put in the article. I spoke with several former members of Madden's development team, and they expressed their frustration with the direction of franchise mode. One of them said, no one can change their mind or their thinking on the relevancy of franchise mode, and so they ultimately gave up trying. So here's the thing. A lot of times people throw this big old blanket over the developers, right? And they're like, they don't care. The developers are lazy. And that's like 99% of the time. That is wrong. That is not it. Y'all don't understand. You got to think about it like this. Think about it on your job, right? Whatever your job is. Like, unless you are a CEO, unless we got somebody watching this stream right now who's a CEO, who owns their own company and they run the whole thing. But I'm talking to people who actually work for somebody, or work for a company, right? There are times when a customer or somebody that you service in whatever way will come in and they'll be like, I don't like the way this is. Y'all need to have more lines open, or y'all need to have this. It don't make no sense that y'all don't have this, and blah, 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 blah. And they're complaining to you. And you're looking at them, and it's not good customer service to tell somebody, oh, well, I'm just a so-and-so. I'm just a cashier, or I'm just a this, or I'm just a vice president, or I'm just a this, I'm just a that. That decision get made by somebody above me. That's not good customer service, because a customer don't want to hear that, right? But what you generally do is you sit there and in your mind, I didn't make that decision. I think that sucked too. But I just work here, and whatever them people say up there is what I got to do. And that is what the developers generally, that's generally the situation that they're in. And this is for all of the companies. This is for 2K, this is for Live, this is for Sony. You don't think there's somebody that works on Sony San Diego Studios team that really wishes that they had a create a ballpark feature in the game? You don't think there's nobody on that team that wants that? You don't think there's nobody on that Madden team that desperately wants to have a franchise mode that's as good as what we see in these other games? You don't think there's somebody that works for 2K that wants them doggone overpowered passing lanes to go away, where you could just have a pure lock and just tap square? You don't think there's somebody who doesn't want it to be to the point where when you cut to the lane where your dude can be wide open in the corner from a three, and the ball is coming up, and you try to pass him the ball in the corner, and instead of staying in the corner where he's wide open, he runs to the basket in the defense. You don't think there's nobody on that team that wants that to be fixed? The developers don't make the final determination on what goes in the game and not. I was told yesterday there was going to be a change in the way franchise mode ran for Madden. But when there was this organizational shift up top, that got axed. So you put that together however you want. But there was an organizational shift up top that changed. And when it changed, the franchise moved further away from franchise mode. It is about the ideology of the decision makers, not the developers. The developers come to the table with some ideas, and depending on how receptive the decision makers are of those ideas, that determines whether or not it gets in the game. So all of those people, all these people that talk about how developers are lazy, and man, if you knew a developer, if you really knew a developer, you would know that even for the trashiest game, they work their butts off. Most of the time. Most of the time. Most of the time, even the trash, I'm talking about, you got people working on RBI baseball, which is terrible. You got people working their butts off for RBI baseball. And so we get the game and we like, ugh, these developers trash. It ain't even that. Sometimes it's a skill issue. Sometimes it's an up top issue. But for the most part, these devs work, man. So I'm going on a rant. And I knew I would end up ranting because there was so much going on. But I told this dude yesterday, and I wanted to address this because somebody said that I was trying to play the race card with the guy. And to me, I feel like that just kind of indicted his own kind of spirit in a way, because I said, in this climate, you talking to me like that might make some people feel some type of way. I'm just saying. Now, he automatically took that to me saying he was making a comment to me or being racist. I never said racist to this dude one time. Never said that. I never said that. Do you not realize there's a lot going on in this climate right now? There's a pandemic, there's social injustice, there's all kinds of things. People are just antsy right now. You got to be careful because people bout it right now. So I'm saying to him, I'm like, dude, you talking all kinds of crazy. You have no idea how you might be making somebody feel. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea how you might, especially when they didn't come at you a certain type of way. You know what I mean? And I'm not threatening the guy or nothing like that. I don't make threats. That's stupid. I'm grown, man. I don't do that. You know, I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is I never said that to this guy. You know, so I don't even know where. So what ends is people literally, they try to curve the narrative their way so that they can control and they can try to make a victim out of themselves. So, like I said, he's overdoing his whole shtick, his whole, online streaming persona. Oh, cancel throne. Because we do live in this cancel culture where if you get caught saying the wrong thing, people want to cancel you. And I do think we go too far as a race. And when I say race, I'm talking about human race. I think people do go like that, right? But to me, for you to jump all the way to that immediately and to get defensive in that way and to start doing it like you was doing it, you making me think you might be, bro. Because why would you automatically go to that? People jump to a defense of the thing that they think they might be guilty of. When that's where your defense automatically jumps, it's because you feel like you might be vulnerable in that spot. You a boxer and somebody's throwing shots at you, you weak in the gut. You drop that elbow down there to cover that gut pretty quickly because you don't want to get hit there because that's where you weak at. So I make no reference to race at all, But because you might be some type of way, immediately that's what you think. That's immediately that's where you go. So I'm just, and then I look at all these little followers he got, man. You got black guys coming on here, you got white guys coming on here, and then it wasn't that many black guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I vetted. I'm looking at his followership and his subscriber base. It's a bunch of dudes who just took their MAGA hat off before they took their avatar picture, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You look and just go through looking what you know. It's ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, bro. I hear you. It's fine. My whole point was whatever it is you think or whatever, it's fine. All I said was just be nice, bro. Ain't nothing wrong. I interviewed Roman Reigns one day, and he said a little common decency ain't never hurt nobody. And it was such a simplistic comment, but it was so true. You know what I mean? And I think that we, just as human beings, that's just so everything got to be off the edge. You know what I'm saying? He could have just said no. I'm not interested. It's got to be hell no, f that, blah, 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 all this. Who you trying to be, bro? Who you trying to be? Who you trying to be? You been watching too many Logic videos? You tough now? You tough? Come on, man. And some dude who's your Twitter name is literally Thrones burner account. I would never ever give that. I appreciate you, Jared. I would never ever. That's what your name is. Really? I wouldn't even want nobody following me who would call themselves Unique Mazik's burner account. No, man. Be you, bro. Be you. And then we got a dude, a cornerback from USC, Isaiah somebody Green, and he on here, he cussing, talking crazy to me. Now, bro, and I seen it. And I'm looking at him like, now you coming to defense of this dude, saying all this stuff on your social media, knowing good and well how people do with people. And I saw one dude commenting and told him that. Somebody's media commented and told him that. I can't exactly remember exactly how it was worded, but I'm looking at him. I'm like, dude, you know they combs people's social media when come draft time. So when you trying to get the Houston Texans to draft you in the 6th round, or in the 4th round, the 2nd round, 1st round, whatever you turn out to be, I think you're a sophomore. You feel like Throne gonna help you? Throne getting your MUT card ain't gonna get you drafted in real life, homie. So stop it, bro. This is about a video game. Y'all taking it to a place that it don't need to be. This is about a video game. This is about a video game. And to be honest with you, talking about this whole thing was supposed to be like an escape. You know, because you turn on, dude, the way that thing was trending yesterday nationally, it was right under the coronavirus. So I looked at it and I was like, dang, something that is not life-threatening is actually up on the top 2 or 3 trending things in the nation. That's cause for applause. But yet, Throne wants to tell me F me and shut the F up and all this kind of stuff and all these, the boy here. And then here come a little chillionaire boy come running out of the backwoods talking about something he mad at me cause of live. Bro, would you stop it? I ain't even never met you before, man. How I cannot make myself be mad at somebody about a video game. Like I'm mad at you in real life. Like in real life, I'm mad at you because you don't like the same game I like. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Huh? Why? I don't want it. I don't want to do that. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good, man. That ain't good. Let's not do that. There's enough reasons out here to be mad at people. And we got to fight them things. I got to pray that off me. Not to be mad at people who done actually did stuff to be mad at. For me to be mad at them. But now you mad because I said NBA Live might get canceled in 2018. And here we are in 2020. You still ain't let that go. Come on, brother. Don't do that. Don't be like that. Give me a hug. Come here. Give it. Give it. So sick of this. Any rate, man, I gotta go. I'm gonna let y'all go. I appreciate everybody that came through watching. I appreciate you, Jared, for sure, man. I do. I mean, I really want to like start, getting back on the YouTube grind again. I got a couple things I'm working on. I write for Heavy.com now, in addition to Forbes. And for Heavy, I cover the New England Patriots. Even though I'm a Chicagoan, I cover the New England Patriots. I've been on it. What's going on, Hollywood Sports? I appreciate you, sir. I've been on that grind for some months now. Been trying to do my best. It's a challenge, man, when you cover a team that's not the team that you grew up watching. And I definitely admit that, because you have to dive in, almost learning the team better than you would the team you grew up rooting for. And it's about being a professional, not about following your rooting interest. So it's definitely a challenge, but I've been doing it, man, and Cam getting signed there, definitely it helped for sure. Just, making it more, just a much more polarizing kind of a team to cover right now. So I've been on that. I'm actually thinking about starting a channel just about the Patriots. But I still want to keep this one about gaming, sports gaming. And of course, I am, I don't know if anybody knew this, I am the YouTube video coordinator for Operation Sports now. So I've been, for the last month or two, been kind of trying to direct the videos on Operation Sports. So I've been doing that as well. So it's been pretty busy last 2 months, but I'm thankful, I'm blessed for the opportunities. And I want to keep on growing with it, man. And I kind of did this to kind of let this negativity go, because, doing coronavirus and this social injustice situations that's going on as a black man, it's nasty out here, right? And I've been struggling myself with just maintaining peace on an everyday basis. And I kind of wanted to dive headfirst into gaming, you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of like, cleanse myself of all this negativity that's going on everywhere else, and the devil gonna find you wherever you go. He gonna find you, and he gonna try to bring you some mess. And yesterday we got some mess that got brought, and I want to let that go. I want to let that go. I want to leave that where it is. So I really don't want to say nothing else about it. This whole stream was for me letting it go. And so I'm letting it go. So regardless of what somebody says on Twitter or whatever, this is, you silly. Predator Kingdom, you silly. Don't tweet that, because I'm telling you, I laughed, but somebody gonna take that some type of way. Don't tweet that. I'm telling you, don't do it. But, even if you black, somebody, I don't know if you black, but I'm telling you, don't do it. If somebody gonna take that some type of way, I just promise you. But, yeah, I want to let it go. So I appreciate everybody watching for sure. God bless and peace.